Hi everyone, it's Natalie Pickering, natural fertility specialist and founder of the Create Conception 90-day program. Just thought I'd jump on quickly. I spent the morning with a really great friend and mentor, and we were just chatting about a few things that I thought would be really quite relevant to those of you who are on the journey towards conceiving your baby. And what we came up with, in fact, this was Rachel's phrase. She said, we need to get comfortable with the idea of being uncomfortable. And I sat and had a bit of a think about that later on. And I feel that this is something that is really important for those of you who are trying to conceive and who are feeling a little bit resistant to the idea of making changes. And I think sometimes even resentful to the idea of making changes. You know, we can spend that time thinking, oh, well, how come she can get pregnant and she's drinking and she's smoking and she's eating badly and in fact she didn't even try. And you know, I think I put a post up not too long ago about the idea of just having to let go of that. Returning to this idea of making change, I think that if you can accept that making change is really the only way that we can see changes in an outcome of every cycle, it might make it a little easier to get used to the idea that sometimes we have to feel uncomfortable. Sometimes we have to be comfortable with the idea of feeling uncomfortable. So, for example, one of the suggestions that I'll often make to couples or women who I'm working with is that it might be time to make some changes to their diet. And so, maybe tonight when you begin to think about what you're going to make for your evening meal, maybe push yourself outside of that comfort zone just a little bit, and maybe it does feel a little bit uncomfortable. Go ahead and do it anyway. Maybe next time you're doing the grocery shopping, maybe spend a little bit more time in that health food aisle than you usually would. And again, maybe you don't know what's in there and you don't know what it all looks like and which is the best thing to buy, but go ahead and do it anyway, because what's the harm in starting to make these small changes? The only thing that you're going to gain is goodness, is making another step towards achieving your goal. And for most of you, it is to conceive your baby. So another thing that I might suggest that you could maybe try, and this is something that a lot of people are a little resistant to, is when you wake up in the morning, what I'd love for you to do is, instead of heading straight to the kitchen to put the kettle on, or even worse, to get the coffee machine going, head to somewhere a bit sunny. Open up the windows, open up the blinds, head to somewhere sunny and roll out a yoga mat. And try a few yoga poses. Try starting a little yoga flow sequence, and maybe you only do it for 10 minutes. Maybe you have a bit longer and you can do it for a half an hour. And in that sequence, just sitting quietly and trying to set some intentions for your day. Try to think about what sort of a day you'd really like to have, because of course if that's our intention, then it's a whole lot more likely that that's what we're going to achieve. Have a think about what it is that you could do, what little changes that you could make that are going to take you closer to your goal. Yep, let's accept it. It might feel uncomfortable, it might not feel normal, it might be quite challenging. But jump in and do it anyway, because if we want to make changes, we have to make changes. I love to hear from you. Let me know how you're going, and let's share what it is that we did differently. Okay, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.